Hello, welcome to another tutorial. Me, Slammer423, Slammed or Trained, or just Dave will do. We're going to learn how to lay track and merge track into one and take it and split it again. Anyway, the basics of track laying is going to be covered in today's tutorial, as that's what's been asked for. And so I'm going to do as much as possible, as much as I know anyway, in the short time that I've been laying track and trying to build a route. We're going to start with a blank template here, so not to get anybody confused. So what we want to do is we want to go to our track symbol, which is linear object tools, and we want to select track. You could even select track rules, which is currently displayed, and it'll show you all the available track rules. We can go to all track, and it shows you all the available track. Let's go back to track rules, and we're going to use concrete clean from Oxford. We've got one piece of track, one arrow here, so that'll play one track. So we'll move it to where we want to. Position the arrow you like by holding your left mouse button and moving your mouse around. As you can see, we'll move the arrow around. Pointing that way will go towards the bottom of your screen, and then that will go towards the top. As you can see here, that the line is not yellow. If the line is yellow, then it's dead accurate. If you haven't got it, then you want to check to see if the snap to track tool is switched on, which it is. So you want to unselect that, and because we're laying fresh track, we don't need to worry about that on at the moment. And so, as you will see, the line turns yellow, and that means it's dead straight. Otherwise it's an angle or a curve. There you go. So we're going to lay one piece of straight track like that for one length. We're going to lay two by going into our number of track there and place a 2 there, and then place the front foremost arrow at the end of the track, so it sits at the end like that, and do exactly the same as before, like that. And then we're going to go back to one piece of track, so we show you how to join track for a passing loop like so. So we've got the section like this. Now we'll go back to the first part where we're at the front here, right here, and then we're going to make sure that we've got one track selected here, and here we want to turn on our snap to track tool. And also, if you want a manual junction where it lays a junction switch for you, make sure this is selected. If you don't want it, you want it to be an automatic junction, then unselect that, and it will then not create a junction switch for you. So we're going to make sure you get the same track again, because otherwise it will not work. So make sure you go for Oxford Concrete Clean. And then this. Now I forgot to mention, this flyout here is your speed, your track type, mainline being more less lenient when it comes to curves. It makes sure that the curves are longer, so it makes sure that you can get around them at higher speeds, and using the yard tool rule will make them much more sharper, but means that you will have to reduce your speed. You can have also, you can choose your electrification. You can have none, overhead wires, third rail, fourth rail. Third rail and fourth rail are exactly the same, so you can select third rail to use fourth rail. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is see my video on how to lay third rail, which should be as an associated video. Just check beneath if I've done it correctly. You'll be able to see it. Also, another selection of videos you should take a look at for track laying is the Rail Simulator, railsimulator.com. Their YouTube channel has some useful videos on how to lay track in Railworks. It's basically the same as Rail Simulator, and we're going to now join that. So we're going to turn that back from yard back to main line. And then we're going to, I'll leave that at 100 because I don't need to worry. But if you want to change the speed of the crossover, then you can. So what we need to do first is gently nudge the track over that way, not too far because otherwise it won't work. So roughly there, if I get this right, and then just, there you go, gently ease your arrow along until you see that red line appear. Once you see that red line, press your left mouse button and it will, there you go, create your junction. If you select manual junction, it will hopefully correctly, yes, it has correctly rendered the flange or the crossover track or whatever it is, and you have now a perfect crossover slip. Not exactly a crossover, but a junction slip there, as you can see. So you've now got the start of your loop, as so, and then go to the other end and do exactly what I did just then, but to this piece of track. So simply get your arrow, choose your speed, and make sure that you've got the right electrification if you haven't changed it, and then just gently nudge it over, and again like that. You do it in 2 stages, and it, as again, it has rendered it's rendered absolutely perfectly. And there is your loop track that will allow you to get out sort of sitting. So there you go, that's how to merge one track into 2 tracks and then 2 tracks back into 1 track again. And that's basically the track laying that you need to know. Also, I'll show you how to do using the crossover tool. We'll make 2 junctions, we'll make 2 track even. I'll push it that way and turn off that, and then like that. And then what we'll do is I'll show you how you use the crossover tool in this. So right, using the crossover tool, you select crossover, select your track, Oxford Concrete Clean, select your speed, select the line type, your electrification if any, and just, apologies, no, hang on, make sure you just deselect that first and then select that, and then select your track, which needs to be the same. So Oxford Concrete Clean, speed, type, electrification, and as you can see it's now put a red line on that side. So just gently start laying the track by using your left mouse button, and then just, as you can see, the tool is just showing you how long and how you want that, the wider that is, the longer it will take to get over, and you don't want it too short, you don't want it too long. Roughly that should do. And then you see in the middle here there is this little weld box. Now this is this is your weld tool, so all you have to do is just click it once and then it should have laid the perfect crossover for you. There you go, we have got the perfect crossover there. It's all rendered correctly except for this bit. It does look odd, but it is okay. It does look a broken track, but it is usable. It isn't broken, it's just the design of the track, unfortunately. I think it's to be worked on, I don't know. And that is using the crossover tool. Using your weld tool. Now someone said that they had problems with the track. I don't know how to replicate it myself, but using the weld tool, I'll show you how you use the weld tool. So let's just do a different piece of track. We'll just simply and we'll just lay a bit of track like so, and then accidentally, I don't know, just lay another bit like that. No, I'll lay another bit like that on next to it like that, like so. But someone has said that when they do 2 pieces of track, they end up with broken track in the middle, which is buffers like this. So if you've got a situation like this where you've laid 2 pieces of track and it's like this, here is the solution. Go into your tools up here select on the weld tool and you'll see a grey box appear above the track. Click this once and it will automatically weld the track back together, and you have one perfect piece of line again. And that is how you weld track back together that's broken. You can also join track together, which I'll show you here. To join two pieces of track together, they can be different, so I'm going to try, we're going to do for a bit of wood old, like so, and then I'm going to do an out the way Oxford concrete oily. We're doing another bit like here, and there you go, like that. And you can join the two together, and this is simply using the join tool. And all you do is you go to join, click it, select this piece of track here first, and then press on this piece of track. Both of them operated with the left mouse key, and there you go. You now have two different pieces of track joined together. If you've laid them differently, and they are joined together. And also you can use the blend tool, and blending tool is this tool here, and it will blend the track together so it seamlessly, so it looks as if it's a gentle move over instead of a sudden move over from one track type to another. It's not very clear at first, but if you just gently go along here, you'll see as it fades from one track texture to the other. There you go, just about there you can see the difference happens. And that is how you blend two track beds that are different to make it look like a professional laid track. And that is really it. That's all you need to know, is basic track laying. Gradients I'm not too sure on myself, so I'm not going to figure that. I'm not going to tell you about gradients yet because I'm not too sure on them myself. I have yet to learn a bit more about successfully laying gradients anyway. And that is the basic track laying tutorial you'll need. Just simply laying track in your route, how to join two pieces of track together, how to weld it together if it breaks, and how to create a crossover, and how to insert a one track to two track and then back into one track again, or a loop, like so.